You know, I love a good story, and March Madness has no shortage of them, whether you're looking at it from the men's perspective or the women's perspective. And the Dayton women's basketball team is one of these stories. They're headed to the program's first Sweet 16 after beating Kentucky 94-99 yesterday. Kentucky came in as a second seed. Kentucky came in as the host of the round of 64, the round of 32, and Dayton didn't care. Joining us now, coach of the Flyers, Jim Jabir. Coach, thanks so much for being with us tonight.
Thanks. It's a pleasure. I appreciate it.
6 years in the tournament, first time moving to the Sweet 16. I'm curious to know, I know my listening audience is as well, what was the catalyst to get you all over that proverbial hump?
Well, I got smarter probably, but I think that the kids matured and the kids believed, and you walk up to that door so many times and you knock on it and you just can't get it open. And 2 years ago, we played Kentucky in the NCAA tournament, and we lost by 14. We just weren't ready to handle their pressure. We weren't ready to make the shots that we made, and I just think it's a maturation process as well as anything else.
It's interesting you say that 2 years ago you weren't ready to handle Kentucky's pressure. A number of the girls from that team still on this team. You all had 24 turnovers, yet you never let that fact keep you or take you out of the game. That is a clear indication of maturation, yes, but also incredible senior leadership. Tell me about your seniors.
Yeah, you're right, because I keep saying we handle their pressure and we had 24 turnovers. That's not handling the pressure. But what we did do is we shot the ball pretty well, handling their pressure. And one of those seniors was Allie Malott, who was huge. I recruited her when she was in the 8th grade, and you could tell then that she was very timid to shoot it, not very aggressive, wanted to be, liked by everybody. Really talented, but just, not wanting to take over. And now that's what she's doing. I don't know how many years later, but now she's 8 years later, she's taking over. And she's, killing people. And so that was a big part of it. You have a kid like Tiffany comes in off the bench. Tiffany Johnson hadn't played a whole lot in the game. Turned it over a couple of times, but then gets fouled, makes 4 out of 4 foul shots down the stretch when we really needed them. So, they showed up. Andrew Hoover, probably our best player, fouled out at the 9-minute mark, and we didn't have her. But people stepped up. Our juniors did as well, and it was a great team effort.
We're going to get to that free throw shooting you just mentioned momentarily. We're talking with Coach Jim Jabir, his Dayton women's Flyers. Moving on to the Sweet 16 for the first time in program history. You all in a hostile environment. And you understand hostile environments, having been in the women's tournament the last 6 years. You can't get away from them in the first couple of rounds. You're in a hostile environment against one of the game's current juggernauts in the Kentucky women. Your young ladies come in and drop 99 points. Did you have any inclination that they were that ready to play?
I kind of felt we were. We were so loose, but yet we were so focused, really confident. It was not something that I had seen in our group previous, and we spent a lot of time the last week and a half trying to prepare our kids to be at that place and mentally. I could kind of see it coming because we really emphasized it, and we talked a lot about unconditional stuff. Like in the past, I'd say, hey, if we box out, we have a chance. Or, if we, do whatever, we have a chance. And I took the condition away. And I spent, hours telling them we are going to win. We are going to the Sweet 16. We are doing this. And there were no conditions. And I think they responded to that. I spent a lot of time talking to our men's coach, Archie Miller. And he's had a lot of experience in the last couple of years of taking people a lot further than they thought they should go. So, and that was his advice. Hey, look, don't pump up your opponent too much to your kids. Get your kids believing they can do anything, and they will. And that was the message, and I think we bought into that.
Well, I can honestly say, as a person who filled out a women's bracket, and I know anyone out there listening who did the same, it's not that no one thought you all would beat Kentucky, but putting up 99 points in Lexington to beat Kentucky, remarkable. You all hit 11 three-pointers. But when I look at the stat sheet, I see that you only missed 3 free throws out of 31 attempts, and Kentucky missed 14 out of 38. The importance of that particular aspect of the game is not lost on you, I'm guessing.
No, and you know, and I think that you got to have the right people in the right places at the right time, and I think this was our time. You know, I mean, I think there have been games in the past we've missed those foul shots. You know, we've only lost to one team since November. That's George Washington 3 times in our league, and the first time we lost them by 3. And we're a team that shoots about 75% from the free throw line. We shot 53% against them, and we lost. So, I mean, you know, it's happened to us as well. But I could see it in their faces and during timeouts and the huddles. They weren't going to lose that game. I mean, it wasn't happening, and you could see it on their face. They believed they were going to win the game, and you know, we didn't lose. Like when they made a run or whatever, we didn't lose composure. We everyone stayed together, and no one panicked, and it was the coolest thing to be a part of.
I can imagine. It takes a special group. It takes a special mentality. Obviously, it takes a special night of playing to be able to do what you all were able to do yesterday in beating Kentucky to move on to the program's first Sweet 16. You play the winner of a game tonight, USF, South Florida versus Louisville. They're sort of renewing an old rivalry. Are you encouraging your girls to watch tonight or not?
We're actually going to go to dinner together, and then we're going to come back to our video room, and we're all going to watch it together.
That's fantastic. What is it?
And go ahead.
No. Please continue.
No. I just going to say that I think it's important that we have a chance to be together and watch it. We can kind of talk about what we see, and also, you know, going to dinner and breaking bread and spending time visiting and talking and kind of, you know. The bus ride home was really sweet from Lexington, and before they got off the bus, I told them, I said, you know, when you get off this bus, things change, and I don't want you to get off the bus without really thinking about what we just did, and you know, this moment that we're sharing together is what so many people try to feel, and you're feeling it right now. So don't let that slip away. You know. Understand what you just did and cherish it, and because you know, tomorrow you got to go to class, and you know, you got to go back into the ordinary life, and you got to prepare for the next game. But I didn't want them to lose sight of what they did.
What does today's practice look like as we wrap up, Coach? What do you plan on doing with your girls?
We're not practicing today.
Good for you.
And yeah, we may not even practice tomorrow. I think at this part of the year, I think being fresh is as important, if not more important, than being prepared. And you can be over-prepared, I think, sometimes. And so I'd rather have us fresh. I mean, there's not a lot we can change this late in the year, so we just need to show up and do what we do.
And make sure that Allie, make sure that Amber, make sure that those young ladies who hit the free throws down the stretch for you at Kentucky eat whatever they had for the pregame meal. You know, do all those things, right?
Oh, well, we're very, very superstitious. I mean, like when we go to pregame meals, like everyone has to sit in the same seats on the bus. Everyone's in the same seat.
I love it.
It's almost stupid, yeah.
No, but listen, that's what it's all about. And March Madness, all about great stories. And boy, the Dayton Flyers that you're the head coach of, an incredible story. Best of luck to you in the Sweet 16. What a great win you had against Kentucky. Time to move forward, though. Can't wait to see what you do this weekend. Thank you so much for being on with me.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Allie Malott, 28 points. Amber Dean, 23 points. In just a phenomenal scoring exhibition by Dayton against a formidable opponent, a team that's become a perennial powerhouse nationally, that being the Kentucky Wildcats. Who will they play in the Sweet 16? We'll know by this time tomorrow.